Good evening. Welcome to our back garden on this lovely, summery, boiling hot evening. We thought we'd got rid of the heat wave, but it's back with a vengeance. It was 31 today. Reason we're doing this is we were nominated very kindly by Trev and Nath of Summit or Nothing, and he said some lovely stuff, so thank you very much for that, Trev. Really appreciated that. So yeah, this is the tag for our 5 favourite or most memorable adventures. Yeah. So I guess I'll start the ball rolling.
But Nath said he also wanted to know what... Was it Nath or Trev? Trev said that he'd be interested to know what we did before. So,
right, yeah. Yeah, before we did YouTube and stuff like that. So the first adventure that really comes to mind was as an 18-year-old sort of bumming around from job to job. I left school at 16. I decided to go off to Israel and work. I had an older friend that was going, and I decided to tag along. Well, I thought I was going to tag along. I got off the plane in Israel with 25 quid and a litre bottle of Jack Daniels. Luckily walked straight into a job, caught a bus out into the desert and started working on a moshav, not a kibbutz where you don't get paid. This was a moshav where you got paid proper money. And that's where my biggest adventure started. It was absolutely brilliant. I got to do everything you get to do in that sort of area. You know, I got to see the Wailing Wall, Jerusalem. I held my first Uzi. I fired my first gun. I went to the Dead Sea, the Red Sea. I got salmonella. I got the picture of floating in the Dead Sea. I went up Mount Masada Mount Sinai, when I visited the Sinai Desert. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was partying all the way, fantastic. But one memory that really stuck out for me, and I've always said this is the reason I love mountains, was we did Mount Sinai, and that was all very well. I think it was 2,000 something metres. But when I went visiting round the north of Israel, I went to a place called Masada. It's probably a lot of you know the history of Masada. It was, to cut it short, a load of people were held up there. They wouldn't give up the top of this mountain where they lived, and the Romans built a big barricade and tried to build a ramp up to it. And basically they starved them to death. And in the end they all committed suicide up there. And then the Romans took over and there was the baths and everything like that. But it's a tradition to walk up there at 6 o'clock, dawn basically. You walk up there before sunrise and you get to the top before sunrise. And that just sticks in my mind. That was magical. And when you get to the top of this mountain, there's ancient Roman baths, and some of the photos I got are rubbish because all I had with me out there was my brother's old Olympus trip. And this was back in 1988 when I was 18. So that was the first time I went on an adventure, and I think that was what got me into travelling, and especially mountains, that particular mountain, Mount Masada. So yeah, so that was my first one, Israel. You want to do one?
Yeah, I suppose so. When I was 16, I left school on the Friday, and by Monday I'd moved to Newmarket to join the British School of Racing to ride racehorses for a living. My dad had bought us ponies when we were kids because we're such a short family. He thought all my kids can be jockeys. So we grew up with horses, even though my dad really struggled to pay for them. We had ponies, and yeah, so I left home and up sticks. Always lived at home, been fed by your parents. Just the next thing you know, you're living in a bedsit 120 miles away from home. Nothing like Israel, obviously. Yeah. And that was sort of setting me up for life that you don't, you know what I mean? To be adventurous, you know. My brother did it as well. My brother, he's older than me. He already lived in Newmarket, so I had a little bit of a buffer zone there, somebody to call on when I was there. Yeah. But my sister wouldn't go, she was too scared to leave home. But
it's quite brave at 16.
Yeah, so I left home at 16 and spent 2 years in Newmarket riding racehorses for a living. Then I moved back home. I think it was a boyfriend thing. Not you, sorry. Yeah. But I still rode racehorses for one of our local person around here for a while. So that was my adventure, right, leaving home at 16 to go and live in Newmarket and ride racehorses for a living. But when I moved back to Farnborough, I got a job in Wokingham, a little racing yard, and they actually got me a jockey's licence, and I actually rode in races as well. So I think I found some pictures of me in riding, going down to the start at Windsor or Ascot races. Yeah. So, there you go. It's my little adventure.
That's something I wouldn't get on a racehorse.
No, racehorses are fiery.
Frightening, absolutely frightening. Right, my number 3 has to be Thailand. In 1993, I went off to Thailand with a partner of mine, an ex, and we did Thailand north to south. We really, really saw Thailand. We spent nearly 3.5 months, or just over there. The maximum visa stay you could get. I went down to the islands, to all the James Bond islands. I did Krabi, where you stay in tree houses. The boat drops you off half a mile out at sea because it's so shallow, and you just walk in half a mile. It's like you're all walking on water. And then I spent a week in Bangkok, which is a real eye-opener. I actually spent the Chinese, or the New Year there, which is the water festival where you're just walking along and a bucket of water will land on your head. It's a fantastic place. The people are incredibly friendly. All that you read and hear about it, it's probably true, but the friendliness far outweighs any of that. It's a wonderful place. But the highlight of that one was when we went up north, and rather than do an organised trek, I just asked, I was recommended a hostel in the north, and this guy just said, do you know anyone that could give us guiding in the hills? So we got a local lad, and we paid him, and we went off trekking into the mountains and into the hills, into the Golden Triangle, and that was amazing. That was hard. It was hot, it was steep. We did manage to do a little bit of elephant back riding, not the mistreated ones, I might add, and that was absolutely fantastic. That one's stick in my mind forever. So yeah, Thailand, travelling Thailand, absolutely brilliant. One of the best times ever.
Before there was hotels everywhere, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. When I actually spent 2 months on an island called Koh Phangan, which everyone knows now. But when I got there, this was back in the early 90s, there was no tarmac roads. The bank was still being built. My huts I stayed on, there was just a footbridge across a river to reach them. And the people there just make the place. The wildlife was brilliant. You know, you'd have snakes slithering up the palm tree in front of your hut. Massive lizards, packs of dogs attacking them as well, which was weird. But I'll give you an example. I flew out there with Yugoslav Air when the war broke out. And the war broke out, we flew out there with Yugoslav Air, and we were meant to stop over in Belgrade, but then the war broke out and we couldn't fly home. So the people on the islands, we owed them about 2 months worth of food and lodgings, because we'd go off travelling round and they wouldn't want money. And they just said, just send it us from England. They didn't want any written guarantees, anything. And that's what a lovely, trusting people they are. You know, I would dearly love to go back there. I'd love to go back with Lucy and do the trekking, because she's a little bit tougher than my particular ex, and she would manage it very easily. So, yeah, Thailand really was a top adventure. So, what's the next one?
I suppose our fourth one would be, I've known Austin since I was 14 years old. I met him when he moved from Wembley to this area. I was very taken with him back then. Obviously, I came back from Newmarket, got into some relationships, failed marriages, etc., 4 kids. And I met Austin again, nearly 17 years ago. Yeah. And my children were very young at the time. I'd been on my own for a couple of years as a single parent of 4. And Austin came into our lives, you know, gradually, I suppose, wasn't it? And then got all my children into mountain biking, taught us all how to mountain bike. Austin, this is probably one of Austin's adventures as well, I suppose.
Yeah, this is,
mountain
it's got to
biking.
be, yeah, in general, mountain biking, yeah.
Yeah, so he taught all my kids, you know, they knew how to ride bikes, but how to be skillful on a mountain bike, and that's when our adventures took off. Every weekend we were mountain biking, our holidays, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I've always said in my videos I used to be a mountain biker, but up until about 4 years ago,
Yep.
I did nothing else. I
Mountain bike.
I lived, breathed, slept. Mountain bikes was all I did. We've done it everywhere, all over Britain, every mountain bike centre you can think of. And then we started taking the kids to Leger. It was the year after we went to Spain. And
Yeah,
Lucy and I went mountain biking, as you saw in the Spanish video, if you watched it. We went mountain biking in Spain, and I came back and I said, right, that's it, the kids are coming on a holiday. So I looked up one where you can hook the bikes onto the chairlifts, and this is quite early days. This was back in sort of 2005, so they hadn't been doing it that long. So it was nice and quiet, and the prices of the chalets you could get, well, you could get a £3,000 a week chalet in winter for
I think the first one we stayed in was about £900.
£900 a week, so you're paying less than a third of the price, and these places sleep 16, 18 people. Anyway, the kids were amazing. We got them all the proper bikes.
Body armour.
They had the body armour, everything, and they would do even the black runs on even the French World Cup downhill course, the Swiss World Cup downhill course, and Han, our youngest, actually rode those when he was 8 years old. He'd do Chatel top to bottom. He had the MB UK magazine stop us and want to do a feature on him years ago. I mean, we're talking a long time ago.
Because he was so small, I think they thought he was 4 years old coming down a black run.
Yeah, the kids, you can see Lucy's not that tall, so none of our kids were particularly big. And Han always looked like a 5-year-old when he was 8. And they just couldn't believe this kid doing jumps and stuff. We hand-built a bike. We had it welded. We had welded certain levers onto it. We welded certain brakes onto it. And mountain biking has been everything I've done. We've raced, we've crashed, we've had lots of injuries, some nasty injuries, and that's part of the reason I don't do it anymore. I'm not as quick as I used to be.
And the kids are grown up and don't want to do it with us anymore.
Well, Han's just bought himself. Han, who's now 20, has just bought himself a brand new enduro mountain bike, so he's getting back into it, which I love. But part of the reason is we wanted to take a look at the countryside around us and enjoy it for once, rather than just hammering down it and looking at a certain line and stuff. And also being so into it, I can't go as fast as I used to. I do a physical job now. If I hurt myself, that's it. No pay, no money. So yeah, mountain biking, an absolute brilliant adventure. I say.
I mean, Leger, Chatel. I mean, we started off. I think one of our
Switzerland.
Our first mountain bike trips, we took the kids to Coed Brennan in Wales for a week, and then we went off to do Innerlithen in Scotland, Peebles,
Innerlithen, Peebles.
Glentress.
We did all the Seven Stains when they came out. I mean, I was into mountain biking so long, I rode the trail at Coed Brennan when Daffyd was still digging it, and he actually moved aside to let me past, and that's how old I am. So yeah, mountain biking. What's that, third or fourth?
That was our fourth.
So the fifth one, what was that going to be?
I would say the hiking and starting to do YouTube as an adventure.
Yeah, I guess so, because YouTube, it's not so much any of the specific adventures, but it's hiking itself and YouTube itself, because I always loved making videos of the kids riding. Whenever we went on these riding holidays,
many on disc.
Yeah, we used to put them on disc and we'd all watch them and it would be brilliant, and I'd put music on them. Never, YouTube, never uploaded anything like that. There's a couple of early videos from about 2009 on the channel, if you bothered at seeing the kids, how little they were and what they could do. But YouTube's given me a viewer base, I guess, someone to edit the movies to, and the comments we get mean the world to us. I cannot state how much we love getting comments. We never started this channel to make money. It's never been about that. I did it I don't monetise the channel because I love putting the music on. I almost enjoy that as much as editing and getting out itself. But the subscribers, we never did it to get loads of subscribers even. We're amazed at the amount of subscribers we've got now. But the comments are fantastic.
Yeah.
The positive comments, and when people say, oh, you know, you're inspirational, that means the world to us. So I'm sure loads of you who make videos out there know exactly what we're talking about.
We've got some lovely fans as well, like Michael is wonderful.
Yeah, we haven't actually met Michael yet, but I mean, we're emailing each other. So we've become friends. Max in America.
Oh yeah.
You're across the pond, but I'd still consider you a friend.
Yeah,
all
you
the
feel
people
close
that,
to
yeah,
everyone,
the people
don't
that
you?
come and say hello out on the trail is lovely. Paul and Ashley.
Yes.
Paul and Ashley, when they came and said hello at Grin 4, it makes our day. You'll see I squirm a bit because I don't really know what to say. So do come up to us and say hello, if not just for the fact you can watch me squirm.
And I feel like Trevor Nath, I feel like I know them as well.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, we've watched Trevor and Nath's channel since they started. Well, I've watched Trevor and Nath's channel when he was doing his comedy stuff. I mean, yeah, all the old stuff is funny, I must admit. So yeah, YouTube being an adventure, it genuinely is. I mean, we wouldn't be sat here doing this, talking to a camera, if it wasn't for YouTube.
It's quite nice. It's lovely to share our past though in a way, because people think, oh, why'd they suddenly start walking? Well, we've been going up mountains for years, but pedalling flat out down them.
Yeah. And the wild camping, I always went wild camping, mountain biking, especially with my brother and a very good friend of mine called Steve. But we never thought of videoing it or putting it on YouTube. And it wasn't until we thought, right, let's go out walking. We had a look on YouTube and thought, oh, we could do this, and we can show the route a bit more and explain the route of where you are. So that's how we got into that, really. So yeah, that's it, really. That's our 5 adventures. Thank you very much, Trevor Nath, for that.
Nominations though.
Nominations, I don't know, are we going to nominate it? We haven't even thought of it.
I haven't even thought of nominations, but what I would like to put out there is anybody who wants to who subscribes to us and we watch theirs too, sort of thing, to say what they've done in the past, because I think that was an excellent heads up, wasn't it? Just to do that rather than our best adventures, because we would have argued over Switzerland, Spain.
Yeah.
And to what you did before, anybody out there, please sum it up. What you did before you started doing YouTube would be brilliant.
Yeah, so, nominate everyone, really.
Yeah.
Anyone that fancies putting it up.
Yeah, what we did before we did YouTube.
Yeah,
before we did hiking.
I just can't think of anyone.
No, because
not that hasn't done it already that I wouldn't have
I think
nominated.
everyone has probably done it already.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna
put a challenge. Somebody to make a new tag of what you used to like doing before you did YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, we're copping out on that. I know we are. Thank you very much. Hope we didn't bore you too much, and thank you very much, Trevor Nath.
And hopefully you'll like some of the photos that we've put up.
Yes. Oh, and Max, thank you very much for the patches. We got them. Thank you very much. Hike Camp Max's, by the way. Right. See you later, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we have got a couple of trips to put up. Sorry, we have got a couple of. We haven't been getting out. It's not that we haven't been getting out as much. We haven't quite as much.
Working really hard.
But we've been flat out at work, and I've said in a couple of comments to people, it's finding the time to edit. That's the issue at the moment.
You get home so tired.
So we've got a couple of trips. We went to see the crashed Wellington bomber site in the Brecon Beacons, and we spent a night in the Beacons, and we had a 2-nighter on Cader Idris in Snowdonia, and that has to be as near a perfect couple of wild camping as we've ever done.
And we met a few people on that
walk
as well, and I bet that they might be thinking, oh, they haven't put the video up yet, because they were lovely people. We met a couple on the way up.
Video's coming, and we met a lovely couple on the way up, and we met a great couple on the way down. Oh God, I can't remember the names. I can't think of the names. I know his friend was D, I believe, or B. Is from Thailand. Anyway, it will be on the video, and we will be putting them up soon. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Cheers.